She's a journalist and an author.
Բարև, լավ եք, հայերենը լավ լեզու է, եթե Ֆրանսիայի տեսպանել հայերեն է սովորել, ուրեմն կարող ենք հաջորդ մեր խորհրդակցությունը ձեր հետ հայերեն անենք, բայց ես խնդրեցի, որ անգլերեն խոսեմ, ճիշտ է? Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's really a great pleasure for me to be here today. And I think I like the way President of AGBU had presented it, first as a member of the board of AGBU, then the President of the Republic. So, and I can somehow agree with him because the AGBU is more than 100 years old. And the new presidency of independent parliamentary republic is just less than 1 year old. So I am privileged and very happy to be sitting on the board, Mr. President, and to work hard to make AGBO an institution which is global, which is clearly Armenian, but also an institution that serves the interests of the nation and also worldwide humanity, because this is what you are for, or this is what we are for. I was asked to speak about innovation, about development, and because the time is short, I don't think I have too much time, but because I'm in Paris, that's the home of Impressionist art. So I think that I can make my comment as an Impressionist introduction. So it'll be big different colors. I will not have the idea to make it clear representation of the issues that I want to talk, but at least to leave you with an impression about the world today and especially tomorrow, and an impression about Armenia or Armenians today and much more interesting tomorrow. So impressions from President. And I would like to start where our friend Haik, yes, had just ended speaking about industrial revolution in Armenia, okay? So there'll be small titles that I'll come back to you now, because I just decided to go like that. And the first title will be Industrial Revolution. I personally believe that there is no industrial revolution, the fourth one happening now. It is much more complex, much more deeper, because industrial revolution, this one is scientific, industrial, and social revolution. And it's not just a revolution, it's our evolution. R with capital letter, and evolution starting with capital. So it's an evolution, but a rapid one. So it's not industrial revolution and then development or 50 years and another industrial revolution, the first one, the second one, the third one. It is rapid evolution that we're going to face tomorrow. Revolutions are going to happen every year, every second year, every third year. So I think to have division, the fourth industrial revolution, fifth industrial revolution, sixth one is going to be impossible. So we are entering the world, and including, of course, Armenia as well, into the time and era of our evolution. Of course, where does it come, the source of this industrial revolution, or our evolution? The source is the 20th century research and scientific discoveries that were made at the beginning of the 20th century in physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology later, with the basically discovering of the laws of the new world, which is the quantum laws, quantum mechanics, up to a theory of relativity, gravitation, and so on and so forth. The 20th century, we were doing the research as an academic issue. Well, the time has come that the results of those researches are becoming industrial. 100 years ago, people who were doing research on quantum mechanics were doing as a philosophy. Now that philosophy is becoming reality. So there is no fourth industrial revolution, neither in Armenia nor in the world, but there is rapid evolution that we are entered with wide open gates. The second thing that I would like to mention among many new discoveries or new technologies will be the one which is going to be playing a very crucial role, which is called artificial intelligence. It's going to make a huge, dramatic change in our lives. Artificial intelligence is not going only to run our industries, it's going to basically change everything. How we run health, how we run legal issues. Imagine super computers that have the ability of thinking and learning and analyzing the huge big data, which is the current new frontier of technology and science, and its application in our lives, starting for management, making the lives of big cities, including Paris and a huge city called Yerevan. Why you are laughing? Yerevan has the same problems as Paris as well. At the end of the day, the solution will be bringing artificial intelligence by optimizing how do you manage that. But artificial intelligence will change also the life of, let's say, our health. Pretty simple. Imagine 100 years ago, around 100 years ago, magnetic resonance effects were discovered. Now we have an instrument which is MRI that can slice our body into thousands and thousands of plates. And of course, human doctor cannot analyze all of that data immediately, but artificial intelligence, a supercomputer with some intelligence, can do that in seconds. So the doctor will get a result of health research in minutes, and then it can do its conclusion, and it will change completely the way the healthcare is run. Mr. President, you are a lawyer, but my prediction of the future courts is that probably we will end up without courts. That lawyers will be artificial intelligence, because at the end of the interpretation of law, be that local Armenian or international law, global law, for the artificial intelligence that can digest the whole world information in an intellectual way, basically will be the super judge. You'll put your case, there'll be the law, and the super judge, which is the artificial intelligence, will judge it and give it a verdict. So you will not need a judge to be there. You will be amazed. My prediction will be that in 30, 40 years' time, there'll be no governments. Because you will not need the governments, you will need some people who will be leaders in specific areas, but the governments in the form of making bureaucratic decisions, that could be replaced. So don't be afraid, because the life is beautiful. It will change also our health as well, because the moment you have big data, which is the DNA in our body, and you have the artificial intelligence, we can do magic. We can increase our immune systems, we can fight cancer, we can live longer. So it will completely change our life. From drones to satellites, from lasers that will measure the depth of the water in agriculture for agricultural use, up to everywhere. So artificial intelligence matters. Third, startup. Why startup? Because I'm in this beautiful building together with you. It's one of the capitals, world capitals of startup. It's a great idea. It's a new 21st century of running business by giving freedom to innovative power of humans. Okay, the old system, classical systems that were basically there in 20th century, when the big multinational companies were running it, when there was the top, the CEO, the chief this, chief that, and eventually you're coming to a group of 100 engineers that were getting an order to resolve this issue. And there's a second model. 21st century, young people have enough tools, be that in IT, power, be that in information, data, knowledge, to be creative. So look at the biggest companies in the world. Are they the old, big industrial companies? Natural resources? No. Microsoft? Google, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. All of them started by a couple of people who had the power of innovation, and they're all world startups. So, welcome to the new world of startups. Very important. Fourth color in this impressionist speech is, I think I will call it reality and virtuality. We live in a world that every day the boundaries between reality and virtuality are destroyed. Look how much time you are spending in a virtual world in your day. How many minutes you are working with your telephone, computer, watching television. So virtuality and reality are merging. And the boundaries are destroyed now. And at the end of the day, there'll be more and more virtuality. But this virtuality in this globally connected, interactive world is not only just our lives, our bank accounts, our details, our information about entertainment. It becomes everything that we are doing. And I think it's fascinating. Fascinating because at the end of the day, the reality is that if you take, for example, sports as a great achievement of 20th century. I mean, things like soccer or football championships, international tournaments are watched by millions and millions of people around the world. But what is amazing now, the younger generation are watching more and more their friends who are competing with each other in a computer game. So there are millions of people, and the number of those who are watching, as you know, virtual competition today is as many as those who are watching the real one. So this is a new generation of people, young people, that love to watch virtual competition in the virtual world. So, virtuality and reality, they merge. Welcome to the 21st century. Next one. This revolution is not only scientific, industrial, it's also social. I will not go deep inside, we don't have much time, but this revolution has a huge impact the way social life, public life, political life is managed. I'll give you just hints, and you will understand what I mean. Election of President Macron. Someone that came basically unexpectedly, had generated a huge movement, had addressed the people directly, bypassing the classical institutions of organizations, political parties, all of that, addressing the people, getting their vote. Revolution in Armenia. Was there a party? Was there an institution? Was there anything? The power of small, the quantum power of politics. So this is another revolution. President Trump is a part of that. In 21st century, the classical institutions, organizations are going to be less and less relevant than the direct approach, an idea, a movement, inspiration, and energy. So small works. Small can be very powerful, and small is important. So I think I better stop here and go to a couple of other issues which are important. And this is addressing young people. So if I was someone who was being asked as professor to give advice, what should you do to become successful in your life? Should you become a teacher, a lawyer, doctor, or someone else? So my advice will be, listen, don't think of becoming someone. First of all, explore yourself. Understand who you are. What sort of qualities do you have personally? Because every child is born with a talent. Everyone. One has a talent of a musician, the other a talent of mathematician. Third one has a talent of craftsman, and the fifth one has a talent of listening. Someone has a talent of talking. You can learn it, but it's a craft. And sometimes your craft can become an art if you have the talent. Okay? So discover yourself. And when you discover yourself, it's very important that you have to understand that education matters. Education will change. It will be in the 21st century or the new world, it's going to be different. It is already different. The way we teach. Sam Simonian there, you know him? Tumo, a completely different way of educating younger generation to IT and IT technology and software and so on and so forth. So advanced that countries like France had to import that know-how. Am I right? So Armenia can produce new ideas in education. Education matters, but it will change. Imagine a young girl or a boy, 2 years old today. So what's the first tool they get in their life? iPad, a telephone. So what do? And they are so talented because they can find whatever they like very quickly. And after they become 3 years old. So they are given a book. So what is their reaction to the book? And they realize the book is a broken iPad. It doesn't work. You push it, it doesn't work. So, welcome to the 21st century. Of course, eventually they will read the book. They have to read the book. They have to learn. But education will be different. Absolutely different. And of course, the classical education, the source of knowledge, first source of knowledge was learning how to read. The words, the letters. Now, we have gone back to 5,000 years. Icons. Like in old Egypt, 21st century. Icon this, icon that, up this, up that, and we start learning the world and understanding the new world that way. Now, the last color, morality, important. I mean, at the end of the day, we can have artificial intelligence, huge successes in technology, but if we don't have morality there, we are doomed. Because at the end of the day, there is no technology, and there was no technology historically that was either good or bad. We discovered fire as humans, which was for good. We could cook, it made us warmer, it was an engine of development, but the same fire could be used and was used by humans for destroying. A hammer was created to build a house, to nail down something useful. But the same, another type of a hammer was used to kill. Nuclear energy, created, discovered, great asset, could be used and is used for great benefit. But it has become also a great danger. So it's not the technology, it's not the tool, it's us and our values. If that values are the right ones, if the values are the ones that are human, if the values are the ones that will lead us to the future, then God bless us. And if the values are of destruction, then God help us. So, I think I rather stop there because there are many other colors. But where does Armenia and Armenia stand here? Let's go back. Our evolution. I agree with you. In Armenia, it has started, but it has started as our evolution or revolution of technology, science, and social and political structure. So we are there. We can be one of the leaders of this in the world. Why? Because the engine of our evolution is globalization, global connectivity. And we are a unique nation, a small state, a global nation, interconnected and interactive. So we are very well positioned there. Agreed? Okay. So there was no, so I presume that you agree. Second, we spoke about, I think, artificial intelligence. Well, there are friends here who are engineers or scientists, and they know the power in Armenia, of mathematics, science, physics, and not only in Armenia, but outside as well. Because some of you were not born in Armenia, though you came to Armenia and also created something very valuable. So I think we're very well positioned, because in the new world is the world where that will not be dominated by natural resources, by huge industrial lines. Well, I predict probably in 20, even 10, even maybe 5 years' time, I mean, we will replace the famous discovery of the line of Ford, because the next cars will be assembled in a shopping mall by three-dimensional. You come, you order a car, this, that cars will be electric, there'll be 4 robots, they will print for you and make for you the car, you will get it and go out. So you will not need cheap country with huge human resources to build a car. What you will need, the car making will become a know-how rather than an industrial institution or a big structure. So Armenia and Armenians have a small advantage there. Startups. I think we are the mother of startups everywhere. I think Armenia is a wonderful country because you see a lot of young, talented people, and Armenians worldwide, they have come with brilliant ideas, and I have a list of probably around 50 companies, very successful worldwide companies, that either they were participants or they were leaders of that. And startup culture is very, very common in Armenia. You know, there's a startup in Armenia which is called Seaside Startup that brings together startups every year in Dubai, Goa, in Australia, and now also near Lake Sevan. I went there this year. It's fantastic. You have, like it's a Woodstock of startups and science. So startup, the new culture of production, the new culture of innovation matters. And we can be successful there. Even the big companies. Last time when I was here, I went to see Thales. Thales, huge industrial company. They have realized in order to be successful, they have to push and help innovation and startups. So what they have created inside their company, a special division, which looks like, I went to see them, it's like a big Starbucks cafe, and 4 groups of 5 and 4 young boys and girls, and they are doing the innovation work, because innovation is going to be the locomotive of the future development. And we are very well positioned there. Now, reality and virtuality. Today I was searching the virtual world, and I saw in London there's a huge international exhibition on virtual platforms. And one of the big innovations there, or the companies that were very well presented there, is a company which is called Beta Construct. You know them? 2,500 3,000 young people working there. They are one of the leaders in creating platforms, and they have artificial intelligence platform that is helping to create platforms for virtual games and so on and so forth. So we are very well positioned there. Virtuality, yes. The fourth one, revolution. Industrial, scientific, and political. Well, I don't have to impress you. You all know what happened in Armenia last year. It was a revolution of Facebooks. It was a revolution of quantum behavior of politics. Now, encouragement of being strong, well-educated, but also a young man has to have also ability of adapting yourself. Well, I want to say here that I think we also have a strong base here. Let's remember who we are. We are children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren of those who suffered a huge genocide in 1915. A thing that was designed to destroy us. But we had this great power of reviving and rebirth. So 24th of April is not only the day of remembrance, it's also the day when we prove the world that Armenians cannot be destroyed. And we have proven that we can rise from ashes, we can do the magic of Christ, rise after death, and we will be there forever. And we have this fantastic quality of a survivor. This is needed in the new world, 21st century, is you have to be someone that can adapt very quickly to the right, make the right decision, adapt yourself, and we have that. We are survivors. So the new world is our world as well. So I have to say a word to the younger people. You are children of the new world. And when I say new Armenia or new Armenians, I mean that we have a strong place in the new world, being new Armenians and running our new Armenia as a country, advanced country, a strong country of the 21st century. Thank you.